Good evening to the students of the SLW722 and welcome to my virtual class. And today is the second and special class, and we have completed in the first session up to this extent, and we would like to go through the rest of the other points. That is the subcommittee on prevention of torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, within parentheses SPT. The subcommittee on the prevention of the torture and other cruel, inhuman, or the degrading treatment or punishment is a new kind of treaty body in the United Nations human rights system. It has a preventive mandate focused on an innovative, sustained, and proactive approach to the prevention of torture and ill treatment. Thus, SPT started its work in February 2007. As it is a self-explanatory that it is a new committee established in the 2007 because a new type of the torture is going on now. For instance, sending the emails, hacking, stalking, bullying or bullying, these are the new types of the IT harassments, and sending the pornography. So it is also a to torture. Am I right?
Yes, Prof.
The SPT, there is a subcommittee on the prevention of the torture, was established in the following the provisions of a treaty, the optional protocol to the Convention Against the Torture, that is OPCAT. The OPCAT was adopted on December 2002 by the General Assembly of the United Nations and entered into the force in June 2006. Sir, can you remember when it is adopted, when it is enforced? If you are sure about the day, year, please mention. Otherwise, it is adopted and enforced later. Years. Enough. Don't show the ignorance to your examiner. Repeat. Say.
Don't show ignorance to examiner.
Repeat. Another candidate. Another candidate.
Don't show your ignorance to the examiner.
Yes, don't show your weakness to the examiner, or don't show your ignorance to the examiner. It doesn't mean that you don't beat around the bush also. Examiner is so clever, he saw people like you so many. So the SPT is composed of the 25 independent, impartial experts from different backgrounds. The highest members in the SPT, 25 independent and impartial experts from different backgrounds and various regions of the world. Members are elected by the state parties to the OPCAT for 4 years mandate and can be re-elected once. And these people mostly psychologists, medical doctor, sex experts, criminologists, criminal behavior people, and those who study the criminology, forensic science, and even things and various other aspects of it, and who will deal about the torture. Is it clear?
Yes, Prof.
The SPT has two primary operation functions. It may undertake visits to the state parties where such a torture has occurred or emerged or going on, during the course of which it may visit any place where person may be deprived of their liberty. So, wherever the liberty is curtailed and the torture is imposed, at that instance the SPT will interfere in that matter. It has an advisory function which involves the providing the assistance and advice to the state parties on the establishment of the national preventive mechanism. Even they can suggest how far you can stop, eradicate, prevent such a torture. So they can give the advice, and which OPCAT requires that they establish, and also providing advice and assistance to both the NPM, that is the National Preventive Mechanism, and the state party regarding the working of the NPM and how it can work also. For the sustainability of the working, it will give the guidance. The SPD cooperates for the prevention of the torture in general with the relevant United Nations organs and mechanism, as well with the international, regional and national institutions and organizations. Even they take the help of the NGOs also. Then SPT produces a public annual report on its activities, which it represents to the Committee Against the Torture and the United Nations General Assembly in the New York. Then they will submit the report to the United Nations General Assembly. Of course, all the reports sometimes goes to the United Nations General Assembly, but sometimes it go to the Social and Economic Agency. From there, it will pass on to the UN Security Council or the General Assembly. So, in general, it may be referred to both the treaty-based and charter-based also. Even the treaty-based also, it goes to the UNO. Even charter-based, directly it goes to the UNO. That is New York. So, in addition to the field work, SPD also convenes 3 times a year for 1 week long sessions and the United Nations office in Geneva. So, United Nations offices, wherever it may be there, but United Nations offices also there in the Geneva, and United Nations main organs also there in the New York. The work of the committee, the SPD examines the way in which detainees are treated while in detention. Who are the detainees? Anyone?
Person?
Who are the detainees?
Detainees?
Whether the under trial
Detainees.
prisoners or the person who
Detainees
detained in the police custody, and no
Detainees
one
are
can
people
be
in custody.
kept more than 24 hours in the police custody, and it will be remanded to the judicial custody. And if it falls on Sunday, again Monday it will be produced. Once the judge will hear it, then he will send to the judicial custody. If he will be satisfied for the interrogation, he will give the permission for the interrogation, then he will be under the police custody. Any person who either suspects involved in a crime, till it is proved over there that he is innocent, he will be detained, and such persons are detainees, either in the police custody or the judicial custody. Is it clear?
Yes, Prof.
When the trial is going on, it is under the prison. The under trial prisoners, we don't say prisoners, under trial victims or the perpetrators will bring to the, when the court sessions trials are going on from the jail. Again they will be sent back to the jail. They are called under trial prisoners. Still they are not convicted nor acquitted. When the final and disposition would be there, then either they will be convicted, then will be undergo the punishment in the jail or in the prison. If they acquitted, they will be free from the custody or the police or the court. They will lead the normal life. SPT members talk in a private with the people of the custody without presence of the prison and other staff or of the government representatives. When the other trials are there, detainees are there, they will ask whether the police is harassing them, whether the police is beating them. If it is under trials are there, then the jailer is harassing you, or the jailer is using untoward his power, or whether he is treating or giving the food improperly, hygiene conditions are there or not. So they will ask the detainees regarding that. Otherwise, it is amounts to the human right violation. During these county visits, SPT members also talk with the government officials. Individually, they will make. First, the detainees, privately, individually. Next, the government officials, prisoners, and other members of the government who is taking care of the prison. And custodial staff, they will ask also lawyers and doctors and can recommend immediate changes intended to improve the situation of the detainees. Suppose the detainees are ill health and he will be taken to the hospital, and their work is governed by the strict confidentiality, and they don't reveal who they have spoken to or what they have been told. Whatever the information this SPT will give us, it is a purely and absolutely a strict confidence that is not revealed to whom that he interviewed and what they said, and they will keep it in a secret manner, and only the report will be sent to the UN General Assembly. And people who provide the information to the SPT must not be subject to the sanctions or reprisals for having provided the information to the SPT. Suppose if any prisoner or under trial has given they are using for the sex, for the even a young detainee for the sodomy, who either the other detainees or the government officials, whoever may be, because the biological phenomena would be there, they can do the sodomy. And I believe that you know what is sodomy. What is sodomy?
Yes, we do. Yeah,
That's BBC. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, the SPT is guided by the principle of confidentiality, impartiality, non-selectivity, universality, objectivity. That's why the members are more and the confidentiality is more, and they will maintain the secrecy. And the SPT conducts its work in the spirit of the cooperation. It aims to engage with the state's parties through the process of constructive dialogues and collaborations rather than condemnations. They try to resolve it in a hospitable way. That is the SPT role. The Committee on the Convention on the Right of the Person with Disabilities. A person who is having the disabilities. What is the disability? Anyone?
Physical deprivation.
Only physical deprivation. Hakuna mental retardation, dementia,
It could be. Yes, it could be also mental retardation.
psychological depression.
Psychological.
So,
Sometimes immoral.
psychological, mental, and physical, visual, and senses disability, and arms disability. So, these persons will be given a special priority. For instance, if Anjunde and Ninjunde, what is our classes are going on there? In the south where the classes are going on. Manjunde.
Wajumbe.
Building where the classes are going on. I'm not speaking about the M1, M2, M3, M10, M15. Near to the academic block, right hand side there is a building opposite to the mango tree.
The administration block.
Right hand side to the academic block. Manjonde.
Manju.
If a person who is a disability in the leg and he is using the wheelchair, can he approach to the C3?
No.
For such a person, how the classes he would attend?
Yeah, he would not attend because the steps are not so friendly.
And hence, everywhere there should be a ramp. R-A-M-P. R-A-M-P. Najwa,
Yes.
did you know what is meant by ramp?
A ramp, this special paving for the disabled.
How? It is a designed one. Ramp, how it looks?
Yes.
It is a
Ramp.
slope. It is a slope. It is a steep.
Steep slope. A slope, yes, a slope.
There would not be any stairs. So one can pass on the steep and the slope and climb over it. Or there should be a elevator, not elevator, lift to approach to the third floor. So any classroom, any hospital, any lodging, any residential place of a public in nature should have the ramp, R-A-M-P. What is that?
Ramp.
What is that? R-A-M-P. Did you see here ramp?
Yes.
It is a slope, it is a steep, it is an inclination without any stairs or steps. Did you see this one? Ramps. There should be ramps so that the wheelchair man will go from that ramp. So that would be the, if you are a person having a disability and such a facility should be given. That's what I want to say. So all the states submit regular reports to the committee on how the rights enshrined in the conventions being implemented. State must report initially within 2 years of the ratifying the conventions, and thereafter every 4th year Article 35 of the conventions they should have to follow. If a man is a visually challenged, how the question paper would be given to him?
The question
Answer.
paper. The question paper given to him should be that the one special for the people with the vision disability.
What is the special way of writing the language for the disabled person and who could not see?
Yes. I have forgotten the word.
The second person, Masawe, Yupo, Melala, au Bubu. Sema Bubu Mimi. He was there and he disappeared. Braille language is there. It will be given the question paper in the Braille and somebody will sit beside him and he will dictate. That fellow will write it in the long hand, and the long hand, when he write it, the examiner is not a visually challenged person. He can read it and he can mark it. Is it clear?
Okay.
This
Yes.
software is there. If you keep the question paper in the scanner, it will read what you wrote on the question paper answer sheet. It will read. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that is the committee examines each report, make a recommendation to strengthen the implementation of the convention in the state. It forward this recommendation in the form of concluding observation to the state parties. Of course, they have given the optional protocol. Sometimes the convention allows the committee to receive and examine the individual complaints also. It is an optional protocol will be given. An individual can write to them, yes, these are the facilities not available to the people, and hence this should be given to us. Receive and examines the individual complaints and undertakes the inquiry in the case of the reliable evidence of the grave and systematic violation of the conventions. The committee also publishes its interpretation of the content of the human rights provisions known as the general comments on thematic issues. They will give the guidance if such a facility is not given. In the UDSM, University of Dar es Salaam, there are many people who would be there, 1 or 2 in every year, who are visually handicapped. For them, I used to go to the library and give them my soft copy. It will be printed on the Braille, and the Braille question paper would be given to the visually challenged person, and a separate room would be there, and extra time will be given, half an hour to 45 minutes, and the paper will come separately. The committee normally meets Geneva and holds 2 sessions per year. And this committee is, Geneva means it is a charter based, not it is a treated based. Of course, treated based in the Geneva, from there the matter will refers to the New York because that is the headquarter. The work of the committee monitoring the mandate is carried out on the basis of the new understanding of the disability according to the human rights model of disability. Disability is a social constraint and it is the barriers within the society rather than the personal impairment that excludes the person with the disabilities. Where is that university where special educational treatment, coaching will be given in Tanzania? Special needs, university or the college, in addition to the government. In addition to the government.
UDOM
doesn't have the special needs, specifically. It's a UDOM is a government.
Amukta.
Sekuko. Earlier it is a Lushoto. Sebastian Kolava University College. But later on, the name is changed and became an independent university. And it is have the special needs program, especially in the education for teaching to the people those are having the disabilities. And worldwide, there are an estimated 15% more than a billion people who are persons with the disabilities. The committee has noticed that the failure to understand the implement the human rights model of disabilities is a major cause of discrimination of the exclusion of the person with the disabilities in society. Yes, suppose if a man is a visually challenged person, if a man is a leg impaired, what is the incentive given by the government of Tanzania?
If a person is visual challenged,
Yes. There is some reservation for the people, those who are having the disability, depending upon the disability nature, depending upon the nature of the work, the job will be given to them. Like a receptionist or attending the calls and giving the answers. And the other people, they may give the lecturership also if his legs or limbs are disabled, but he can speak. So a reservation would be given to them, and in transport, for the physically, for the visually challenged person, one person bure, B-U-R-E, either in the bus or in the train. For only the government I am speaking, not in the private. Are you following me? Even the senior citizens, there would be a 15% subsidy would be there. But now in India they removed it. But in other states, they are bure in the local buses. So, though its engagement and cooperation of the state parties, the committee advocates for the human rights of the persons with disabilities and provides the states parties with the recommendation to support the implementation of the provisions enshrined in the convention. Whatever the provisions are enshrined in the convention, that would be domesticated in the respective municipal legislations of those states, those who are the parties to the convention. In its work, particularly its concluding observation, general comments, views on individual communications, and inquiry findings, the committee has clarified how state parties must understand and implement the human rights model of disability. And the person with a disability, there is a reservation is there in the all the government colleges, including the private colleges. It is the TCU norms. Depending upon the percentage of the disability, the reservation should be followed. So this model does not allow the exclusion of the person with disabilities from the community or from the area of life of any person. Did you see anywhere in the world a lawyer is a boo-boo, a lawyer is a kipofu, a lawyer is a, what is another?
Bubu, Kipofu,
What is another? Deaf, dumb, and blind.
yes.
What is the another Kiswahili? Kipofu means blind. Bubu means dumb.
Kiziwi.
Kizivi means you could not hear.
Yes.
Did you see any person, Kizivi, Bubu, and Kipofu, a liar?
Yes, we had one in the law school.
He is a practicing advocate.
If at all he passed it, then he might be practicing.
How could he hear?
He was able to hear, but he was keep off.
See, I told you all three.
A single person having all three
All three.
disabilities. I have never seen one.
You did not see, you could not see, you may not see the three qualities if a person doesn't have. Okay, the one quality, like he could not see, okay, he can practice. Even he can teach.
Yes.
He can be muallimu. But
Yeah.
all three would not be there, you did not have. Because Tanganyika Law Society would register such a man as an advocate, you check it. The COVID-19 pandemic has revealed the state parties have not comprehensively implemented the convention. Of course, many other things entrenched the discrimination and inequality against the person with disabilities, together with the persisting attitudinal and environmental and institutional barriers, result in the situation of the vulnerability and the risk of person with disabilities. Half of the death in the pandemic is mind setup. In the mind setup, if they feel weak, they never become a strong. If they feel I am a strong man, then definitely will become a strong like a Hercules. The committee has constantly highlighted the state party must ensure that persons with disabilities and their organizations are included in all initiatives and the decision-making process with related to the person with the disabilities. Now, a person who is having the disabilities, the electronic media, the electronic gadgets, the scientific development has made, and that will not be a barrier to his success. Is it clear?
Yes.
And the last, the Committee on the Enforced Disappearance, CED. The Committee on Enforced Disappearance, CED, is the body of the independent experts with monitor the implementation of the Convention of the state parties, especially the responsible includes examining the report state parties, they are making the recommendation, the topic of enforced disappearance in the state, Article 29 of the Convention. Registering the request for the urgent action, Article 30 of the Convention. Receiving the individual complaint from the victims of the violation of the Convention of the state parties, Article 31 of the Convention. Receiving the communication with the state may claim that another state party is not fulfilling the obligation under the Convention, so-called interstate communication included 32. How a man will disappear, forcibly taken away. Retrieving the communication with the state party claims another state party is not fulfilling the obligation under the convention, so called into the state communication, Article 32 of the convention. The committee meets at Geneva and holds 2 sessions at PR. So, disappearance fact sheet. Suppose if a man goes to a market and the police caught him and they will be no more, will be seen. Yes, when you caught out, you have to inform to the neighbors, relatives, parents, kith and kins why he was arrested and what he is taken away. Give the chance to him to defend himself. So international protection, all person from the enforced disappearance, designed to protect all person enforced disappearance. Yes, it should be intimated to them. Otherwise, it's the right thing, nothing but a human rights violation. It stipulates the creation of the committee on the enforced disappearance charged with the following task. The examining the report submitted by the state parties to take to give the effect of their application of the conventions, and no one can be arrested, no one can be taken away without the due process of law. The Constitution clearly mentions. To receive and consider the communication with the state party claims that another party is not fulfilling the obligation of the convention. So overall what I want to say is, No one can be taken away his liberty without the due process of law, and it should be intimated to him, and a chance will be given to him to defend himself. If the committee receives all founded formation of the enforced disappearance being practiced on a widespread and systematic basis in the state party, it may also bring the matter to attention of the General Assembly through the Secretary General after seeking the intervention from the state concerned. Even an individual can write to them. If the government if the high-handedness of the police or the defense forces, because of the ruling party, they make any statement against the government, that fellow will be disappeared next day. We don't know whether he will be encountered or he will be seen or may not be seen. Is it not the violation of the freedom of expression? Is it not the violation of the democracy? Yes, a man is having a right to make the criticism. If a public person does a particular thing wrong, if lawmaker is a lawbreaker, who will protect the law?
If the lawmaker is the lawbreaker, then the public should come forward. Or the
Public will beat. A revolt will be there. And you don't know whether you have seen or not in Sri Lanka, when the ministers are taken away all the money which is used for the planning purposes, development purposes, encouragement purposes, other construction purposes. The public are beating him like beating a dog in the street. Even they torn their clothes, and that fellow will be left with only chupi. Public will revolt if the government will make such a thing against it. Even the defense also will cooperate, because they cannot torture it. They cannot make it out. They cannot give it, because they know themselves these people are meza.